Hello there, welcome back to Legends with Derka on the Series X, where we have a nice in-depth look at Big Masa B, the Black Friday unicorn ship of 2021. Massachusetts Black is not for sale in the game and can only be awarded through a random drop while purchasing Black Friday crates. Today I'll show you the best way to beat those odds. Well, really, there's no way around it, but I'll at least break down the crate system a little more so you can decide if it's worth delving into. I just wanted to say that I don't personally go after these super rare ships in crates such as the Key, Otago B, or Massachusetts B, but if it is something that you are into, let's take a closer look. For starters, let's look at the ship setup for those that are here for the gameplay. I am using Mr. Billy Sims for a more accurate version of the ship, and actually have very little put into the secondary guns, which is one of the gimmicks that Big Masa is in fact known for. The only thing for the secondaries that I have done for this gameplay is the secondary battery mod in slot 1. Everything else is about survivability and these giant 406mm guns. Inspirations are Cunningham and Revel, although a secondary focus setup with Haruna or Von Hipper is definitely an option, and I believe that now more than ever. More on that later. Keep in mind that the B at the end of the name only means that it is a Black Friday ship. It is identical to the other Massachusetts that can be found right now in the store for 750,000 global XP. So if there's any, frustration about the drop rates of this thing, keep in mind you can simply go buy this thing for free. You could be 100% free to play and still get the Massachusetts. Anyways, if you're like me, maybe there's a little bit of a desire to collect every ship in the game, sure. And this thing is as cool and exclusive as it gets in Legends, at least for now. I think the art department outdid themselves, and the camo looks fantastic. The Black Friday ships are definitely my favorite looking camos in the game, and I'm sure there are a lot of people's, and that's why these things are made exclusive, expensive, yada yada yada. Okay, on to the crate system. The crates have been revamped, so let's go into detail on how they work and your odds of pulling any of the Black Navy ships or the Massachusetts herself. The Black Navy consists of the Exeter B, the Graf Spee, and the Le Terrible, along with the Massachusetts here. The Exeter and the Graf Spee have an initial drop rate of 6%. The Le Terrible, hers is 2.5%, and the Massachusetts Black is 0.5%. So it could be pretty rare indeed to get her. The caveat is the new crate system. Basically, if you were unlucky, now the 40th crate will contain one of these 4 ships. If you already own the ship, it will be removed from the potential drop. So every one of these that you own, you'll get a higher chance of getting the other ones that you don't have. So when it comes to that 40th crate, there is a 40% chance your guaranteed ship will be the Exeter. There could be a 40% chance it will be the Graf Spee, 16.7% chance for the Le Terrible, or a 3.3% chance for the Massachusetts to pop up in your 40th crate. At the very least, if you owned all 3 of the other Black ship fleet, Exeter, Graf, Le Terrible, your 40th Black Friday crate would be guaranteed to be the Massachusetts. I like this system as I've heard of way too many people spending ridiculous amounts of money whaling to get a ship like the Key or Otago B and still never actually being able to pull the ship. This way, at least, I feel like for the whales, you could get all 4 ships guaranteed for the low cost of around $220 US. That would be 29,550 doubloons for the first 3, Exeter, Graf, Le Terrible, and then if you were super unlucky and it took 40 crates to get Masa B, that would be 36,000 doubloons. Hey, there are those people out there, maybe some of them are watching this video right now, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. You support the game that we love, so whales, we love you. Again, all of this is totally optional. Masa is still free in its beautiful Type 9 camo, and you want to know why it's so beautiful? Because it's free 99. I went into some more in-depth reviews of the other 3 boats, and I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in that. You want to see them sailing around, you want to hear about their stats and know if they are worth it, check out the video in the description below. I think that I could live without most of them. If anything, if I were just going to spend maybe 40 bucks on this game this fall, I would go pick up the Weimar or the Z35 and I would have myself a heck of a time. If you're a collector, sure, man, go for these things. The camos are beautiful. The art department is fantastic. You can say what you will about the system, but you do not have to gamble for the ships. You do not have to buy crates if you don't want to. I think it's totally optional, and that's how I've always felt about it. Sure, I think the gambling mechanic is questionable, and that's honestly something that I really would not want to delve into this video. Way too deep of a subject. And on that note, quickly, let's change the topic. On to this gameplay. So I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think the Massachusetts is one of, if not the strongest battleship at tier 7. I know Lenin and Jean Bart are very good, don't get me wrong, but if played correctly, I think Big Mamie is a solid contender for the king of tier 7 battleships in the game as of right now. Let's dive into some of the stats and see why I think that. Survivability wise, she is solid with 68,920 HP points. That's very, very good. While I do have sims on here, it makes it better. Still, that's near the best in class. Main battery range is a very respectable 17 kilometers without really putting anything else on it, and that is not using flammable cannoneer. Her gun reload is a bit on the slow side, just like the Iowa and the Alabama, but the shells hit like a truck, like some of the red team are finding out in this game. The AP shell damage is 13,100 without gyrating drill bits, making it nearly the best in class. The shell velocity is another reason I really like the Alabama, Massachusetts, and since we're on the gun topic, the North Carolina. They all have Mark 45 406mm guns, as opposed to the Mark 50 406 mils found on the Iowa and Missouri. They travel through the air a little bit slower, but I find they do better at not getting overpins on broadside cruisers, which we all know is really the bane of battleship existence in World of Warships. It can be such a game-ruining experience to have a cruiser player completely playing the wrong way, not knowing what they're doing, but just overpinning them over and over and not being able to do anything. It can be very frustrating. So I find that these slower velocity shells kind of help a little bit with that. Damage per minute wise, Massachusetts falls behind some of the other battleships at the tier and is more in the middle of the pack, both with AP and HE, and that just comes down to her slow reload, which is one of the reasons I put Revel on here for this game. It brings it down almost 2 seconds. Big Mamie's AA rating is 91. One higher than the Alabama and nearly the best at the tier. If the fun police decide to mess with you, you are definitely in the running for a Clear Skies medal. You will shoot down a lot of planes. Moving on to the drawbacks of Mamie, one of them is her speed. 28.3 knots with a battle booster flag and without using gyrating drill bits. So you are one of the slowest battleships at the tier. Being able to position yourself well and know what you're doing basically at the beginning is important to not get out of place and be stuck doing the sailing simulator, as I call it. Okay, that was one bad thing about Massachusetts. Now back to the good stuff. Turning circle, 710 meters, which is smaller than the Baltimore's turn circle. You can really whip this thing around and maneuver quite well for a big tier 7 battleship, and that makes her a lot of fun to play in my opinion. You can keep destroyers off guard and guessing, kind of like we did earlier in this game, dodging torpedoes. And guess what? If you do take a torpedo, like I did, I took 2 because I'm a potato, you have 50% torpedo damage reduction from your torp belt, second only to Alabama. Her armor is comparable to other battleships at the tier, and when properly angled, you can be quite tanky. On top of that, throw in 3 heals worth 10,000 apiece, and that's not even talking about Willis Lee. If you did a survivability or brawler build, you could possibly get 5 heals by using Master Mechanic. Massachusetts' most notable feature, however, really is her secondary guns. That's kind of what she's known for. And again, I only have the secondary battery mod on here, but with that alone, secondaries reach 8.4 kilometers and they actually hit things. Yes, the Bismarck is known for long-range secondaries, but Big Mamie is known for having accurate secondaries. Those of us that have played this game from launch understand that secondaries used to be more of a joke, not actually useful. So it's taken me a long time to get over that, and you can watch here, taking out the engine on this Jervis just sealed his fate. So there's really nothing this guy can do now. I guess he's not using Unstoppable, which is why I always use Unstoppable. But yeah, so again, secondaries have gotten better and better in World of Warship Legends, and there's no better ship to show this than the Massachusetts. So here in this game, at the very end, we got lucky here that that guy showed himself. He didn't really have to. He could have stayed behind the island. We were going to win on points anyways, and with this torpedo reduction, I was not really afraid to push him. And now there's one little lonely destroyer left. And again, the secondaries are going to show up. The Z-23 that we were shooting at earlier is coming back around here, so we're gonna hopefully take him out. He's at 9.5 kilometers, and I know that he has to be within 8.4 to get these secondaries off. We'll see what they can do from this kind of range. Overall, guys, I really enjoyed the Massachusetts Black, and thank you to Wargaming for lending it to me so I could show you guys some gameplay of her, because chances are I'm not going to get her through crates. Let me know what you guys think of Big Mamie B in the comment section down below, and the Black Navy as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like what I am doing, and that is gonna wrap it up for this one. Close quarters expert from 9 clicks. Not too shabby. All right, guys, see ya!